Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. We are chanting the second one, we'll chant the first one also, or does it matter? Vedo nityam adhiyatam tadudidam karma swanushtiyatam tene shasya vidhiyatam apachitihi kamye matistyajyatam पापौघ परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छाव्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् सङ्गसत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम् शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुकासेव्यतां ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम्. So in the second verse we saw that we should Sangha Satsu Vidhiyatam, we should seek the company of the good people, Bhagavato Bhaktir Dradhiyatam, and cultivate deep devotion to the Lord, Shantyadi Parichiyatam, develop peacefulness and good virtues as a result of peacefulness. An agitated mind cannot be integrated, a peaceful mind automatically becomes integrated by itself. Provided it is thinking of something higher. Drudhataram karmashu santyajyatam, and once the mind becomes peaceful and fixated on the higher, immediately give up the, what is that? Karmashu, Drudhataram karmashu santyajyatam. Give up the karma, give up the desire-oriented actions, give up the fond desires, because after having developed a calm mind, why do we want to sabotage it by making it running after the world again? It's a no-brainer. Till here we did last class. Now sadvidvan upasrupyatam. Then what is to be done? First it was told, seek the company of the wise, and what was that? Seek the company of the wise and cultivate deep devotion to God because you are not used to sitting alone. You are not used to being alone. So you do it with the group. Now what is being told, as the peacefulness in your mind keeps becoming deeper and deeper, as your desire-oriented activity becomes less and less, because you have come to understand that the desire for the world is not going to give you satisfaction. Now what do? Here it is said, sadvidvanupasrupyatam. Approach a wise teacher. The best teacher is Brahma with Brahman Varishta, one who is realized and who is able to who believes in the scriptures and who is able to explain the scriptures or tell what is the truth in that and practicing it in his own life. Such a teacher. So Sad Vidwan, Upasrupyatam. So approach a wise teacher, and then what do you do? Pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam. Pratidinam, every day, tat paduka sevyatam, serve what? Tat paduka, his feet. And what does it mean to service his feet every day? Meaning, what that wise teacher is established in, that great master is established in. What is he established in? In the truth. What is he established in? For example, Ramdas, Samartha Ramdas, he told Shivaji served him, and when he came to his king palace, and he says, please take this throne, this is yours. He says, you sure? He says, yes. He sat. He says, now I am the king. Now understand, from this moment onwards, this kingdom is not yours. This kingdom is mine. This kingdom is the Lord's. Now you are only a servant. So, as a servant, you serve this kingdom. And Shivaji created the largest, empire. Even though it was for only 31 years or something like that, but all the way to Tashkent he went. All the way to Turkey, not Turkey, Iran. So he spread it far and wide. And when we are the owner, then we become arrogant. But when we are the servant, we will serve. And the greater the servant we are of, if we are servant of the Lord or a servant of a teacher who is established in the truth, then more you want to serve by offering whatever. Best, he was a Kshatriya, so he did what he could do. A student, Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, it comes in Kaivalya Upanishad. Shrotriya Pani, so there, Samit Pani here it is told, here if you have remembered, that he goes with the dry sticks on his head to the teacher. What does that mean, dry sticks? Dry sticks means that Dridhataram karmashu santajyatam. He has given up all his desires. His mind has become like the dry sticks. What does it mean? The moment it comes in the vicinity of fire, that dry wood or dry sticks will catch fire. Similarly, this student, those dry sticks represent his mind. His mind is so dried up of all desires that the moment the words of the teacher he listens to the words of the teacher about the truth, immediately the enlightenment happens. See, that's how it is. That is our preparation. Till now it was all preparation. Till now also it is preparation, because you're coming, but it was step by step. First you realized that the world has got no answers, then you came to the wise people, then you made your devotion fixated on the Lord or the Atmechap, you desired the self, and while desiring the self, you made sure that you don't again go back into desire-oriented lifestyle. You don't do any karmas which are desire-prompted. And then when all this preparation is done, you are doing it. You don't go and seek a teacher. Teacher will come into your life. So here he says, and teachers are there. You will. It is natural disposition that you will like to learn more. So you will go to this teacher, you will go to that teacher, you will go to this teacher. Somewhere you will be rubbed the wrong way. Somewhere you will be manipulated. Somewhere you will get something. Somewhere you will misunderstand the teacher, because we are not perfect at the moment, isn't it? So it's a hit and miss. We have to go somewhere. We don't want to go to the world anymore, but the teacher is a part of the world. So how do you select? Without proper integrity, how do you select? And this is that it's a dance. So on one hand you are selecting, you're going, you're approaching, but on the other hand you are continuously surrendering to the Lord, not the teacher initially, only to the Lord. You don't know, because you see the teacher as a human being, as yourself. So how do you develop that devotion towards the teacher, that surrender towards the teacher, that seva bhav towards the teacher, you can only develop towards the Lord, and let the Lord decide who comes into your life as a teacher. And every type of person, eventually what is the teacher's job? To make your mind so open that every event, every person, every contact, every experience is your teacher, isn't it? Till that happens, you hold on to the Lord. And here it is told, tad vidvanupasrupyatam pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam. What does paduka represent? Paduka, I have also, when we do Guru Purnima, Swamiji's paduka is there. Paduka is the wooden sandals on which he stands. So what does that represent? When you go to the temple, they take the crown of the Lord and put it on your head. It has the paduka of the Lord. If you go to your Camberwell Shiva temple, Shirdi Sai temple, you can touch the feet of the Shirdi Sai, but in front there is the two imprints of the feet of Sai Baba kept there. You touch that and get the blessings. So feet represent on what that master is standing, what his values are, what his characteristics are, what his attributes are. See, whatever his qualities, you want to imbibe them. And what is the best, instead of the worldly qualities? His dedication towards the truth, his abidance in the truth, that we want to imbibe. Because we have worked out everything else before. We don't want more desires, we don't want more world, we don't want to prove anything. We have become empty and we have come to the Lord, to the teacher. And there, by doing seva, whatever little bit still lurking desires are, or lurking ego is very tricky. It does not let go so easily. It's not there, but it is there. That is the story. But in that master, he sees how we are, what treatment we need, and that time when he rubs you the wrong way, we feel that I think he is judging me or he is doing this. And that time we must have the capacity to go through that treatment, so that we can come out as a shining, shining light, or the shining gold, or shining orb without any dhabba ko kya bolte hain? Any spots. So whatever that little, and what is that black spot? That is the ego. So what is the teacher doing, or the master doing? He is removing that by putting you into certain situations. See, when our teacher was there, he told us, Anubhavanand ji, तुमको तो सिर्फ सफेद दाढ़ी वाला अच्छा सामने दिखता है, हमको पता है क्या ट्रीटमेंट हमको मिली थी. He literally used to make us scrub the tar road. He used to make us scrub the tar road, and he bought, chalo, 100 rupees you spend. So he made someone to buy it. Those, that brush with the metal, metal के spikes होते हैं, उससे we have to scrub the road.
For what?
Because they were doing the building and they were making the marble को shine करते हैं ना, तो उसका पानी सारा निकलता है. It came out onto the road. He said, this is not looking good. They have not done it. Chalo, you have to. I'm going for the lectures by tonight. By the evening when I come, I want this clean. सबको लगा दिया. Some did, some didn't. We had to clean the temple every Shivratri. Every day we had to do the gardening compulsory. Half an hour of Narayan Seva. झाड़ू मारो पूरे आश्रम में. Big, not small ashram, big ashram. पर झाड़ू मारना है पूरा. फिर apart from that, many people. See, this is where the misunderstanding comes. When we started the ashram, Swamiji, after 1 week only, he said, we are short of staff in the kitchen. So we thought, खाना नहीं मिलेगा. अपना तो दिमाग एक ही तरह चलता है, खाना नहीं मिलेगा. तो what to do? No, food is there, but dishwashing के लिए कोई नहीं है. So can you all do breakfast dishwashing? Yes, we know, no problem. How many? 150 people. And we organized ourselves. After 2 weeks, he said, it is too much of load. Again, another person has left. Can we do the lunch also? Okay, we will also do lunch. But by the time in those 2 weeks, about 20 people left. From those who had come to study the scriptures, 20 people left. In 1 month, 40 people left. Why? We have come to study scriptures, not to wash dishes. I am a Brahmin. This is not my job. See, this is the type of treatment. You are put into situations or you are told something and that you have to sort out your mind. You can't sort out teacher's mind. You have to sort out your mind. That where in our approach we are going wrong. Like Tapovan Maharaj to Chinmayanandji, you must have all heard this story. He said, you tore my clothes, because Chinmayanandji used to wash his clothes every day. Go to Ganga, wash it, bring it back. And he had only 2 pairs. And he himself tore it. And he said, you tore it. And anyone who comes every day, he says, this fellow tore my clothes. So he said, I will buy new clothes for you. He says, no, but you tore my clothes. So he is not accepting. See, this is the breaking of the ego. If you can understand the subtlety of it. So 1 week he went. Kings came, princes came, big businessmen came. They knew Tapan Maharaj. So darshan ke liye aate the. This fellow tore my clothes and he's not even replacing it. And when he says, I'll replace it, I don't want your replacement. And one day after 4 or 5, 6 days, Chinmayanandji, already 7 years. Would Chinmayananda have behaved like this in the beginning? No. Now after 7 years, all the knowledge has gained. He has learned all the scriptures. Arrogance comes up. That I know. Now what can he teach me more? And how can he speak like this? I have been serving him for 7 years. Nobody has stayed with him for more than 2-3 years. But I managed, in spite of his behavior, I managed for 7 years. I am the best student. This is ego. And then one day, in that arrogance, he said, he kept the clothes, he bought some new clothes, he kept it in the kutia, and he walked away. He walked. There were no buses that time. So he walked, 1950s we are talking, early 50s. He walked to Rishikesh. And as he was walking to Rishikesh, suddenly Tapan Maharaj, where's Chinmaya? Nowhere. So he sent one person, go after him, call him back. Tell Tapan has called him. So he went back. He went. By that time he had already crossed 30-40 kilometers. He went. He says, Maharaj is calling, Tapan Maharaj is calling you back. Adesh hai? Order hai. He came back. But his mind was working. Why can't he understand that I did not do it? Why is he doing it? Why is he pinpointing me? Why is he giving me a bad name that I tore the clothes, blah, 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 blah. All this argument is going on. It's in his mind. Teacher's intention is totally different. His intention is totally different. Understanding is totally different. And then when he came back, the first thing Tapan Maharaj says, you tore my clothes. And why Swamiji is touching his feet, and when he is coming up, he says, yes, Swamiji, I tore your clothes. Ego broke. Even this whole thing is an illusion. In this, what is right, what is wrong at that level, nothing is right and wrong. If a master is saying that you tore, I tore, story over. He wants to break you completely so that you are available to the Lord. He's not there to break you because he wants to control you. No, he himself has broken himself to surrender to the Lord, or allowed himself to be broken. See, it's a big. Many people are not available for that step. Many people are not available to that step because arrogance, because no surrender, because Chinmayananji was considering him also as a human being, not as a guru. Somewhere it creeps in, because same form, same senses, same mind, same. He also is hungry, he also goes to toilet, he also sleeps, he also wakes up. As long as you see the Guru Maharaj as that, you will, somewhere the ego will come up. And that, at that moment, he became a master. Chinmayananji in his own right became a master. See, this is the difference. So here, when we say pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam, seva is not just washing feet and cleaning the room and this and that. Seva is trying to imbibe the values, the attributes, the commitment, the dedication, the sincerity, the surrender towards the divine, every moment that the master is invoking within himself. See? Every moment. It is not a one event. Just like we told in one satsang a few weeks ago, that death is not an event. Death is a principle. But we'll take it as death is an event. कि एक दिन मर जाएंगे. अभी किसी और ने भी मेरे को बोला, हाँ अब तो समय हो गया, अब अपना टाइम हो गया. क्या टाइम हो गया? अपना टाइम हर समय आता है. Every moment we are dying. But we are thinking only because we look around that death is an event, and then Rona, Shona, cremation, and then we must grieve when someone dies, and we never grieved for anything. See? So, Pratidinam tat paduka sevyatam brahmaikaksharam arthyatam. And what do? What is the seva here? Apart from imbibing the values, brahmaikaksharam arthyatam. Strive to discover the meaning of brahmaikakshara. What is the brahma ekakshara? What is that? What is that one word which represents the reality? Om, isn't it? So that, strive to understand what is Om, what is the scope of Om, what is the meaning of Om. Strive to practice the chanting of Om and go to its source. The meaning will reveal itself to you. See? Now, how many of you are chanting Om? How many years you have been chanting Om? Only before the class. Chant every day, every moment. लगे रहो हर समय. So discover which is the Upanishad which reveals the meaning of Om. No. Kaivalya is there, Kathopanishad is there, but in detail, Mandukya Upanishad. It is only about Om, nothing else. Kathopanishad, it is about death, and it is having some, Yamraji is explaining the meaning that Om is the Alamban. Similarly, in Kaivalya Upanishad also, Om is taken as the way to the reality. But what is the length and breadth, scope of Om? What it represents? What is the sadhana? What is the way which we should approach Om? That is given in Mandukya Upanishad. Mundoko nahi, Mandukya Upanishad. Brahmaikaksharam arthyatam shruti shiro vakya samakarnyatam. And then keeping your attention, striving. This is mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam means intense desire to liberate. Here what is it? You have come to the teacher, you are without as much possible. Every day your surrender to the teacher is increasing. Then third part, while what is this teacher established in? Teacher is established in Brahman. How do you connect to that attributeless Brahman, that reality which is beyond the words? Through Om. And then last part, Shruti Shiro Vakyam. And that teacher, when he is teaching, listen carefully to the teachings of the scriptures. See? Keeping your attention on the Om. All the previous points which you have in this verse, all the previous points. Since we have come to the teacher, you must cultivate that, do the seva, do the be wanting to come to know the Brahman or through Om. Your sadhana is going on side by side. And whenever the satsang is there, when morning 9:30 and evening 4 o'clock, be available. Do everything else, but be available, listen carefully. What does listen carefully mean? With single pointed, without doubt that these are the words of the scriptures. There is a certain the way a person who has already studied scriptures on his own and then he goes and listens to some person, compared to a person who has worked out there is nothing to be achieved in this world and he approaches to the teacher to listen to the scriptures, is totally different. The first person, he will have his own understanding continuously running, commentary running parallel to what the teacher is telling. Oh, and many times it happens. You must have heard many places. Swamiji, you didn't cover that point. Arre, that is how it came. Why that question came? Because in our mind another commentary is going on. Because we have studied so much. We have contemplated. We are not available. So we are available only, acha, he said this, but he could have said that also. He could have said this also. It's a mental thing. So get out of that habit. Whatever is being told, be 110% available to it. That will be only possible when our side-by-side sadhana on Om, Yoga Vedanta. Our Melbourne chapter is called Yoga Vedanta. Vedanta is not something to be understood. But till you don't get there, there is Gyan. But Gyan can lead to arrogance. So that arrogance doesn't come about, you do yoga. And what is yoga? Yoga means practices. What are the practices? Here, for example, chant Om, chant your mantra, serve, practice, continuously strive to remain in the remembrance of the divine every moment, perform all your actions for him, eventually see that he alone is performing everything. I'm just the observer, I'm just the witness. See? Shruti Shiro Vakyam Samakarnyata. Until and unless we do not have that intense faith, till then scriptures will not become our own. Scriptures are not here to take the mickey out of you. They are not talking of Brahman. They are not talking about that infinite reality to trouble you. They are talking of Brahman. One person came to our ashram, trustee, and he said, trustee hai, how can Swamiji say no? He's paying everything. One of them. So he came inside, and in the middle of the Upanishad, he puts his hand up. Swamiji doesn't allow any questions, So the moment he put his hand, now trustee, for one moment, he said, okay, what is... Swamiji, for 2 years, these poor fellows have been listening Brahman. Are they not bored of it? The moment he said, Swamiji kept quiet. He says, he didn't tell him directly. The person who was videoing, he was also brahmachari. He said, Shripad, tell this gentleman to leave this satsang class right now. Class will not continue till he leaves. He had come with his family. No, but Swamiji stopped talking to him. If you do not have faith in the reality, that name of reality is Brahman, that name of reality is Ishvara, that name of reality is this creation. We are not talking about sansar, we are talking about creation, Jagat. Then you don't deserve to be in the class. And he kept quiet. He said, but Swamiji just closed his eyes and sat there. 10 minutes, that fellow did not leave. He opened 10 minutes later. He said, they were sitting at the chair at the back afterwards. Swamiji, we are sorry, we will not disturb anymore. And he says, he told Shri, he said, what did I say? They must leave the class. Class will not continue till they don't leave these premises. Who can ask such a question? That Brahman, it is crazy. How can students listen to this Brahman for 2 years? Who does not have faith in the scriptures? Who does not have faith in the reality? Such a person speaks like this. So we must have these 4 faiths. What are they? Faith in the Lord, faith in the scriptures, because it's His speech. Then these wild words will not come out. What is Brahman? Faith in the teacher, the Guru Maharaj, from whom we are learning, and what is he teaching? That everything, every event, every experience is your teacher. He doesn't want your service. He wants to expand your understanding that Guru Tattva, the Sadguru Maharaj, he is everywhere, every moment. Just like you are surrounded by air and space, similarly, the grace of the Sadguru is always. And that grace of the Sadguru expresses as your learning every moment. And what is that learning? In every moment, every experience, I look at her, my attention should go back to the reality. I look at her, my attention should go back to the reality. I am speaking to you, my attention must go back to the supreme reality that is my focus. Even if I am not established, but it must go there, because that is our nature. And the 4th faith, what is that? The ability, the faith in our own ability, that we will be able to, we are ready to surrender, we are ready to have faith in all the 3 above. That right now there may be shortcomings in me, but I will grow out of them. From childhood we have had so many shortcomings, but we have overcome them, isn't it? Now if there is some thinking which is acting as a speed breaker in our journey to our own self, then we will overcome that also. That faith that I will overcome it, that I will correctly understand it. Where am I going wrong? If scriptures are saying in this manner, then if I'm not understanding it, it's not the scripture's fault. It is my approach has got some error in it. See? So, listen carefully to the teachings of the scriptures. Teaching also goes through 3 stages. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Listening, reflecting. Listening is listening to the satsang. When you listen to the satsang, you may have some doubts. So then you, in your own free time, you reflect on it. Reflect on it in such a way that what has been told is correct has to be proved. Not what your standpoint is, that is to be established, and what has been told is deleted. So what scriptures are saying is the highest truth. So we must, our thinking should be such that whatever is told by the scriptures, that should become our conviction. That should become the result. And the third is, when that happens, the lesser the number of doubts, the deeper is the conviction in what the scriptures are saying. And the scriptures are telling what? You are that reality. So as your doubts keep decreasing, your conviction that you are that reality must keep increasing without the ego. Without the ego. And that leads to Nididhyasanam, which is contemplation. This is step by step, I have told you. But a smart person, Uttam Adhikari, who is he? When he listens, it clicks. Who is that Uttam Adhikari for who listens and it clicks to him? Who has done all the previous steps before. Who has come empty. If you come empty, then you can be filled. But you have already some data, you have already a take that this verse means that, this word means that, this, I heard this one there, I heard that one there, you are already full. Then it is a hard task to undo what you have learned and then relearn. The tabla master used to he said, those who have learned tabla before, I charge 100 rupees per class. And if you are not learned the tabla before, 10 rupees per class. Arey, I have already done so much sadhana, then I am making your life easier. He says, you are not making my life easier, you are making my life difficult. Because first I have to undo what you have learned wrongly. And then I will have to teach you. So never ever in your life study scriptures on your own. Always learn under a teacher. Because behind that teacher comes the entire lineage of Shankaracharyas. See? Which that wisdom you cannot get by yourself. Nowadays, here in Melbourne itself, many people are teaching Bhagavad Gita and other things because khujli ho gayi and they want to start. See? But what is the background? No background. Have they studied anywhere? No. You can't listen from YouTube and then start giving lectures. Just because some people are, one person is there without taking any names. He's taking some classes and he's a psychiatrist. But he's taking some satsang in Dandenong or somewhere. And this lady comes yesterday, day before yesterday, Saturday, Sunday. And she comes and she says, Swamiji, I want to live Glenville only. I want to come. I said, yeah. And she has had a brain surgery, poor thing. Something has happened, brain surgery. Again, whenever she gets stressed, she starts becoming forgetful. She can't remember, her disorientation happens because something must be pressing somewhere. And she wants to be left alone. And she went to a satsang, one person likes to she says, you don't know how to take care of your family, you don't know how to take care of your children, you don't keep your house clean, you don't take care of your husband, blah, 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 blah. If she enters into her house, she's making dosa, she says, you don't know how to make dosa, come, move away, I will make the dosa for you. There is a way to do it if you want to do it, not that way. And then one day she told her that, I don't want to do anything with you, please get out of my life. For 3-4 years, she was out of her life. Now she goes to the satsang, that girl also is coming there. Woman with her husband, she comes there. And she wants to again get in touch with her. And she became very uncomfortable and she said, leave me alone. And that psychiatrist, he is thinking that he doesn't know all this background. And he says, you have to apologize. She says, I will not apologize. I did not do anything wrong. I did not approach her. She came and troubling me. I don't want to talk to anyone. Leave me alone. No, you have to apologize. You have to do this. You have to do that. So these things happen. I'm just giving one example. Not that everyone must behave that way, but one example where the teacher, instead of teaching, is getting involved in other people's life. See? And there's no background. All he has done is through videos, and I know that person. I didn't know he was taking these classes. Now I know. Taking just self-taught. Is it not possible? It is possible to study by yourself. Tapon Maharaj, Chinmayananda's teacher, he had no teacher. He studied by himself. But those are rare beings. Satya Sai Baba, he had no teacher. Ammachi, she had no teacher. Raman Maharishi, he had no teacher. Oh, I am also not going to have teacher. But they didn't go and teach the world. They only did it for themselves. And when they perfected, then the people, like a flower blossoms and the bees come. You see? But here they have a different agenda. So listen carefully to the teachings of the scriptures. If you listen, the first step, Shravanam also itself is done very clearly, very sincerely, then the next two steps can be avoided, provided. And when will the listening happen perfectly? When we have done the previous steps properly. वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षसमाश्रीयतां दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतः तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम् ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यताम् अहरः गर्वः परित्यज्यताम् देहेऽहं मतिरुज्यतां बुधजनैः वादः परित्यज्यताम् वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यताम्. Reflect. What was that before? Listen carefully. Shruti shiro vakyam samakarnyatam. Take it in. Take it in. So many times you must have seen, you go to bhajans, you don't know the wordings, and you're sitting there and the wordings, the bhajans are falling on your ear, and one day you find yourself chanting the same bhajan, even if you don't know any language it may be. Yeah? Similarly, when we continuously expose ourselves to the satsangs, the basic tenets, the principles of the satsang, what is that? We are made up of spirit and matter, that this creation is Trigunatmika, that there are Panchakoshas, that there are 5 great elements which go into making the creation. Now, do you need to think about it? It's because by hearing again and again and again, it has become normal for you now, isn't it? Did you study it anywhere? Yes, maybe you have read it afterwards, but first time when you heard again and again and again, how many things, what did you studied physics, chemistry, maths, geography in school. How much do you remember? Nothing. But satsang, when we keep interacting with satsang again and again, the same tenets are again and again repeatedly communicated to us, and without like or dislike, it just becomes a default. We also answer it. And then once it becomes, so that's why in our system, first chanting. So what do? Om Bhur Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat. When 7-year-old. Today, nowadays, what people are saying, we have to tell the meaning only, then he will be interested. No, first he must chant. Om Sadhana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Like this. Om Gananam Tva. You keep chanting these mantras. Keep by-hearting. Keep repeating. Till today, every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, ladies come and we chant the Narayana bottle. Purusha Suktam, Narayana Suktam, Durga Suktam, 1.5 hours every day we chant. Many things we don't know the meaning, but we keep chanting. Perfect the chanting, the ups and downs. What happens in that 1.5 hour? You are so alert, because while chanting, if your attention goes a little bit away, you make a mistake. While chanting, if your eyes are on the words, but your mind is somewhere else, you will make a mistake. And you keep perfecting it. And some days it is so wonderful. All the 3-4 of us, we are so in tune, and 1 hour goes bang, pata bhi nahi chalta. And everything is in unison. When that starts happening, automatically, what did I say first? Shravanam, Mananam. Now this is the next third verse. First lesson is Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam. Vicharyatam, contemplate, reflect. Remove your doubts. About what? About what you have listened. What is the meaning of those words? Initially the meaning will be only at superficial level. Huh? But when now I look at the ocean, I stand outside, for any person it is just the ocean and some waves on the top and some froth on the side and a boat moving ahead and water going backwards. Or this morning, as normal, we took photographs also. What? The dawn broke and the sun rose. It is normal. That is the information. Correct? But what was the take on it in meditation or in the last class? How did I explain that? Totally different. Which normal person will not think that way. If I look at the water after so many years of water and wave, now I can't look. The moment I look, I know the wave is only an illusion. If wave is an illusion, every form in the creation is an illusion. This is reflection. See? So here it says, reflect on the meaning of the teachings of the scriptures. When we begin, it will be at the gross level. Slowly we'll go deeper and deeper and deeper. Then we go into silence and it will tell what the next, And then it says, Shruti Shiraha Paksha Samashriyatam. Embrace the vision of the scriptures. What is the vision of the scriptures? Tell someone. I have said it many times.
Know yourself.
It is. You are that. Self-realization.
Find the truth.
You can't find it. You have to rediscover that you are the truth. Not find. Because there is nowhere to find. Truth is everywhere. Aham Brahmasmi. See? The vision of the scriptures is to take your mind to that ultimate reality, which is Aham Brahmasmi, and give up, understand this second part, to give up attachment to the scriptures also. Scriptures are also part of the world. Nothing in this world tells you to give them up. Scriptures tell you that once your attention is fixated on that supreme reality, without a doubt, now don't come back to us, drop us. Only then you can transcend us. Otherwise you will be lost in the words. Because what we are teaching you, what your vision that we are presenting you of Aham Brahmasmi, that is beyond the words. It's beyond the words. Yato vacho nivartante. Beyond the words. Aprapya manasasaha. That reality is that which is beyond the words, and it is beyond the scope of the mind to comprehend it also. So we have to go beyond speech, we have to go beyond mind. And that you are. Shrutishira Paksha Sama Shriyata. And all this has to be done while living life, not escaping from life. Find some time in yourself, like you are finding time to come for half an hour for the satsang. Similarly, find some time in your daily living, and it should keep increasing, that your involvement with the truth, with the Lord's name, must keep on becoming deeper and deeper. Not only morning and evening, not only morning, afternoon and evening, not maybe 5 times a day. No, let it be 24 hours a day we have to reach. That type of commitment has to come. That only comes from us being available to the divine. And in this way, where are we? Shrutishira Paksha Sama Shriyataham Dustarkat Suviramyatam. What is that? Dustarkat. Tarka means argument. Dustarka means wrong arguments, bad arguments, insisting arguments, disturbing arguments, for which we don't have the data. But we are talking. Why? Topic है, चलो खुजली है, लगे रहो बंदर की तरह. You scratch a little bit, eczema. More you want to scratch. This is how our mind is also. So he says, Dustarkat Suviramyatam. Ramyatam, don't enjoy getting into arguments, wrong arguments. If it is an argument, or if it, better than argument, discussion is okay. But discussion, how should it be? Discussion is not that we are discussing. Today we are discussing something, but no result. Because all of us are not having the complete picture. But we are, whatever standpoint we have, we are putting it. And sometimes we are reacting to it, sometimes we are insisting on our point, but we don't know the complete picture. Because we have not seen the reference of it in any scripture somewhere. I should ask Swamiji, what is the, because never thought of it. See, but it's not leading to any, it's all open. So, Dustarkat is where we insist on wrong arguments without understanding. We all fall into that trap every now and then. So, or even like you have heard of this Naik, that
Zakir Naik.
Zakir Naik. Now, Zakir Naik, he can tell you about Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita more than you can even understand.
Yes.
But he uses it for what?
Wrongly.
To wrongly interpret it so that he can bring people to Islam. But he can use like this, he'll say, Yajurveda, shloka number this, Aranya number this, cut, and say with the same dexterity, he can talk about Islam also, Quran also. So people get carried away by his knowledge. But he is twisting the meaning of the words. And what is he using it for? Not for propagating the truth. He is using all that ability he has for conversion. See? There is ulterior motive. There should be only one motive. What is that? What the scriptures have. What is that? Aham Brahmasmi must be realized by everyone. Don't get caught up in this worldly argument. Don't get caught up into God argument. Don't get caught up into past and future argument. No arguments. वही तुमने बोला ठीक है, सब बढ़िया, आगे बढ़ो. दुस्तर्कात सुविरम्यताम. So don't enjoy unhealthy arguments. Then Shruti Mataha Tarkonusandhiyatam. Then what is the logic that we use? What is the arguments that we follow? As given in the scriptures. Now you are listening to, some of you are listening to Jnaneshwar Maharaj on Sunday mornings, right? Amrit Anubhav. Now it's completely, the whole text is argument only. But what is the argument? To prove what the truth is. What are the obstacles? The word Satchidananda are obstacles to the truth. The word ignorance is a misnomer. It does not mean anything. And he's arguing, giving examples after examples after examples. Many times he has repeated it. But he's going so deep. And who is this? Jnaneshwar Maharaj. Where is he coming from? His own realization. Why is he writing about it? Does he have an ulterior motive? No. His teacher told him, write your experience of your realization, pen it down. So he is writing it. For whom? For our benefit. What is he going to benefit? Nothing. He is only following the diktat of his teacher. And on top of that, those are only few shlokas, the OVs. But on that, our Swamiji has written such a detailed commentary. It's exhaustive discussion, exhaustive argument. But it does not leave you in no doubt as to what the reality is, provided our mind is purified. If our mind is not purified, we listen to that argument that there is no ignorance, there is no Satchidananda, there is no this, there is no that, there is only one, that one alone is everything, but we cannot think about it, we cannot talk about it. You're playing with my mind. Huh? But that is the argument, because we are trying to come, the scriptures are trying to bring you to yourself, which is beyond the mind and speech. And the only tool we have is the mind and speech. Understand? And that has to be utilized in such a manner that this mind and speech dissolves away as you come closer to the climax. So this, with this mind and speech, you come to sleep. But when sleep comes, mind and speech both disappear, dissolve away. Same thing has to be recreated consciously without going to sleep. Now that's an art. It cannot happen by thinking the way we are thinking about the world at this moment. That I am teaching you, you are listening to me. All that is valid, but we have to rise above it even while it is happening. And that is what is told here. Shruti dustarkat suviramyatam shrutimataha tarkonusandhiyatam. Anusandhan means hold on, get what you call get your mind to be pointed towards the arguments and logic as given in the scriptures, not according to your thinking, but according to the scriptural argument. When we were studying physics, chemistry, mathematics, calculus, trigonometry, did we argue? Why sin theta plus cos theta is equal to tan theta? Did we ever argue? Did we understand what it was? Then why? When it comes to scriptures, we have the freedom to argue about anything, just because we have become grown up. There is no logic. We have to listen to the logic of the scriptures. We'll conclude here for today. For next tomorrow we'll see what happens. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om.